Hi, I'm Ari Nachshon, here on the Coaches Show on Hornet Radio. This week, we're at Halscherbeck Field, and we got interviews, we got recap, and we got highlights coming up.
So I'm Ryan Osborne giving you the recap of Fullerton College and East LA. Fullerton started their day off a little bit sluggish. They had multiple injuries on the offensive side of the football that forced them to really have to figure things out offensively. But the one guy that they have always been able to rely on each of the last 2 years is Elvis Vakapuna. And for Elvis, he had his first of 3 touchdowns throughout the entire night in the second quarter, and he got Fullerton on the board with a 25-yard touchdown reception. Now, East LA would end up getting a response. They would kick a field goal, but for East LA, that would be it for their offense for the rest of the night. Fullerton College, their special teams and defense, continually showed up one time after another. Fullerton special teams got a safety for Fullerton College after a muff punt led to the opportunity for the Hornets to try and get onto the football in the end zone. Weren't able to do so as that gets kicked out of the end zone, and Fullerton College would take a 9-3 lead going into the latter stages of the second quarter. It started to unravel a little bit for East LA as after the ensuing kickoff, Fullerton would march all the way down inside the 5, and they would give it up to none other than Elvis Vakapuna on a 5-yard run, and once again, he would be in the end zone to make it 16-3. Fullerton College was pretty dominant in the second half with the exception of their first 2 opportunities with the football in the second half. They ended up giving the football up immediately. 2 fumbles, one by Josiah Jarrett and the other by Jared Peters, which allowed for East LA to get themselves back into the ballgame and have an opportunity to be right there with Fullerton. But other than that, those were the 2 major roadblocks. And the reason why that is because the defense showed up once again. You look at Fullerton taking the ball away on Saturday night. They took it away twice. They were able to force 3 different fumbles. One was recovered by East LA. But Fullerton once again was able to go out and try and get the football and take it away from East LA. The most important opportunity that the defense had for Fullerton all night was when East LA almost got themselves into the end zone. Sebastian Lopez had a near 21-yard run into the end zone, but as he was about to break the plane, Fullerton College takes it away, pokes it away from behind, and the Hornets would not allow East LA to get into the end zone throughout the entirety of the night. That would be the closest they would get. Fullerton in the latter stages ended up going to more of a wildcat formation, something that's going to be interesting when you hear later on from not only Ari Nachshon, but also from the offensive coordinator Keenan Gardner on what Fullerton is looking for in using that wildcat not only just on Saturday, but looking forward to throughout the season. Fullerton with just about 37 yards passing, their lowest in many a year, but they were able to get the win thanks to 243 net yards rushing. Total offense for Fullerton, 280-72, as Fullerton College comes away with a 44-3 win over top of East LA, their second win over the Huskies in 2 years.
Hi, I'm Ari Nachshon, here with Elvis Vakapuna. So, you're leading this offense. How do you think that that's going to build the core for you guys?
For this season?
Yeah.
So, I feel like more. I don't feel like a leader for this offense. I feel more like a kind of guy who's trying to share like the knowledge that I have with the game. Every time I have a opportunity to speak to any of the positions, I try to share whatever I know for a certain concept and things like that. But I'm more like just a knowledge teller, trying to share the game that I've been able to gain from many coaches, and that's what I see myself as.
So more of a teacher.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a teacher, what do you think is your best capability when it comes to showing them on the field?
Man, for me, I feel like the best teacher or the best thing that a teacher can do is lead by example. Try to do the right thing every time, whether it's like, doing the right things at workouts, doing the right things at practice. That way when game time comes, we're all doing the right thing. And, that's why I try to emphasize with all the boys. Like, I feel like if I try to correct them on something and I haven't been doing my part, I have no right to be, trying to correct them, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the best thing I would say is, like, a teacher is leading by example and doing the right thing every time.
So going against this game against San Jacinto, how do you think that teaching or that preparation will go with your teammates?
I feel like, having a lot of our players back from, taking last week off from many of the injuries that we had from College of Canyons, I feel like the next step for us as an offense is putting the puzzle pieces together. And I seen that today. I seen our two quarterbacks come back, and seeing them throw around it makes me happy, because now we're also getting our pass game going with our run game. And I feel like last week when we established that run game, I feel like now teams are like learning about what Fullerton is really capable of.
All right, well, thank you so much for your interview.
I appreciate that.
Hi, I'm Ari Nachshon here with
Keenan Gardner.
And today we're here at Fullerton College practice at Sherbeck Field, and I'll be asking him some questions. So first, I wanted to know how you feel about last weekend's game.
Last weekend's game was kind of bizarre. Like I said, there was a lot of things pre-game that led up to it being bizarre in weekend practice, and then, like I said, the game itself had some developments that kind of changed it. So, but the biggest thing was we got to a point where we executed what we needed to do based on the situation and got out of there with the W.
That second half looked a lot better. You guys were really scoring. It seemed like they hadn't been putting as much pressure on you guys. Do you want to keep any of those aspects from last week going into the San Jacinto game?
Yeah, those were emergency. Like I said, that was an emergency contingency plan for us to go to Wildcat with Elvis. We had an issue where two of our quarterbacks were down. Josiah was up. And then based on the antics in the game, we ended up losing him to concussion. So we had basically put that in about 3 or 4 reps on Thursday before the walkthrough, having the Wildcat, and it actually just ended up being successful. It's a play that we run regularly, just not out of that formation, and the guys executed and we were able to move the ball.
So against San Jacinto, is there any big changes you wanted to see out of the team?
You'll see a lot more balance. Like I say, Toby should be back this week. He's clearing concussion protocol, so we should have a lot more balance back to our offense, to where he's able to execute the passing game a little bit better. Like I say, he has some games under his belt now, so you'll see a better balance this week.
And so now you're 3 games into the season. How would you say the identity of this offense is shaping up?
We don't have an identity yet. We had a game against the Santa Barbara team that was kind of short-handed, that we just were better prepared for game 1. Game 2, we had, again, circumstances. We had some injuries that we didn't know about early. That affected that one. And then game 3 was kind of, like I say, was very bizarre. So I wouldn't say we found our identity. What we can do is in game 1 establish we can, when efficient and on time, throw the ball vertically. The second game we established that we run power very well. But as a team and an identity as an offense, we haven't established that yet. So we're looking forward to kind of put it together this week, and maybe that identity will kind of unfold.
Was there anyone you're looking forward to maybe breaking out?
They all need to break out. They all at this point, like I say, consistency from our offensive line at the point of attack so that we can continue to run the ball, because in the first 2 games we didn't run the ball effectively like I wanted to. From the quarterbacks, being able to throw on time, make their reads, get the ball out on time, and from receivers, they had a good first game, and then there was some inconsistency from them in game 2. Not so much the third game, we didn't throw the ball a lot, but we want to see better consistency for the receivers. So yeah, as an overall, I think the whole team needs to step up this week and play a complete game.
All right, well, thank you, Coach. And that was Keenan Gardner, the offensive coordinator. Upcoming, Fullerton plays Mount San Jacinto at 6 p.m. on Saturday, and if you want to watch, just head over to Fullerton College Sports homepage. I'm Ari Nachshon, and thank you for watching this week's Coaches Show on Hornet Radio.